Are you ready for the ultimate Zarpado compilation facts? Subscribe and let's start. A gigantic spiral made of malleable aluminum created by the artist Chaz Capobianco produces hypnotic patterns as it moves. The designs look like ripples in water, and it was made by cutting a sheet of aluminum into a continuous spiral. The El Marco walkway is considered the shortest international bridge in the world, located between Spain and Portugal, measuring just 10.5 feet long, connecting both countries. During the 1990s, this place was the scene of multiple illegal transactions because both countries were not yet fully integrated under the same border policies of the European Union. Puzzle boxes were used during the Renaissance era, created from pieces of furniture such as jewelry boxes with secret compartments. The only way to access these creative boxes is by moving their parts until the puzzle is solved. The Overtown Bridge in Scotland, built in 1985, has gained tragic fame due to mysterious incidents in which numerous dogs have jumped from the bridge. Scientific explanations suggest that scents from animals and rodents at the bottom of the ravine attract the dogs, but the phenomenon remains enigmatic. Sidney Lewis was the youngest soldier in World War I, escaping from home and enlisting at 12 years old. At 13, he was already in France fighting in the Battle of the Somme, but after 6 weeks his real age was discovered and he was sent back home. Your eyes get more exercise than your legs because the muscles in our eyes can move about 10,000 times per day processing visual information. To match that effort with your legs, you would have to walk about 50 miles daily without any rest, making it impossible to sustain that pace. The fog rainbow is a rare type of rainbow that has almost no visible colors. The water droplets in fog are so small that they only create a rainbow with extremely faint tones. In poor areas of Manila, Philippines, people collect organic waste such as leftover meat or bones from trash to prepare stews called pagpag. These scraps come from fast food restaurants and are sold to small eateries in impoverished neighborhoods for 21 cents. A Tough Guy Challenge is a 9-mile race that includes 32 obstacles, including burning logs, claustrophobic tunnels, and lakes with electrified wires. Approximately 50% of participants quit due to the extreme difficulty of the obstacles. Commercial airline pilots use special trays inside the cockpit to eat without interfering with the controls. They also use curtains to prevent glare on instruments. By protocol, each pilot eats something different from the other to avoid both getting food poisoning from the same meal. Safety comes first even during lunchtime. The smallest camera in the world measures just 0.026 inches, smaller than a grain of sand. It was developed for non-invasive medical procedures. It can capture detailed images from inside the human body and send real-time video to an external screen. Something so tiny with an enormous capacity to help in the medical world. In Canada, scientists are developing an invisibility cloak that hides a person not only in the visible spectrum, but also in infrared. They use special materials called metamaterials that manipulate how light behaves as it passes through them. Although still experimental, it could have military espionage and even medical applications. Despite weighing around 4,400 pounds, the rhinoceros walks supported on the tips of its toes. It has a fat pad under the heel that works like the cushioning of a high-end athletic shoe. This allows it to go from standing still to running at 31 miles per hour in seconds without damaging its own joints. The Greta Otto butterfly, known as the glasswing butterfly, is native to Central America and parts of South America. Its wings lack pigmentation in the membranes, making them transparent and allowing it to camouflage naturally. The edges of its wings are dark and opaque, and its elegant flight in tropical environments makes it a symbol of beauty and adaptability in nature. Woodpeckers strike wood at a speed of 20 times per second. To prevent brain damage from the impact, their extremely long tongue wraps around the back of the skull inside the head. This tongue acts like a safety belt, absorbing vibration before it reaches the brain, protecting it from harm. In temples of Bali, macaques steal glasses or mobile phones not to play, but as hostages. They clearly understand that if they keep the object, the human will give them food in exchange. And they have learned the concept of trade and value a phone more than a hat because they know the ransom for an electronic device is much tastier. Gharials are semi-aquatic reptiles known for their distinctive, long, narrow snout adapted for catching fish, which make up most of their diet. Native to the Indian subcontinent, they inhabit slow-moving rivers with sandy banks where they rest and nest. They are one of the largest crocodilian species, reaching up to 19 feet in length in males. The Australian cockatoo is one of the most iconic species of Australia. It is characterized by mostly white plumage with a prominent bright yellow crest that it can raise or lower depending on its emotional state. Now, these birds are highly intelligent and social, living in large flocks that display cooperative behaviors, and they can live up to 70 years in captivity. Hippopotamuses secrete a reddish, oily mucus through their pores that acts as a natural sunscreen. This secretion contains two pigments, one red and one orange, that protect their skin from the African sun and prevent burns. It also has antibiotic properties that help disinfect wounds. It is popularly known as blood sweat. Even though it is neither sweat nor blood, the Iberian lynx is an incredibly specialized predator. More than 80% of its diet consists exclusively of rabbits. This extreme dependence means that any disease or decline in rabbit populations has a devastating and immediate impact on the survival of the entire lynx species, making it extremely vulnerable. Elephants are capable of recognizing themselves in a mirror, a behavior known as self-recognition, which is an indicator of self-awareness. It has only been observed in a few species such as dolphins and some primates. Elephants also show empathy, help injured members, and mourn their dead, visiting the bones of their herd even years later. Sloths are so incredibly slow that algae often grow on their fur. Their slow movement makes it difficult for predators to detect them, and the green tone from the algae increases their camouflage among leaves. In addition, this layer of algae attracts moths and beetles that live in symbiosis on their bodies, creating a small walking ecosystem. Ribbonfish, also known as cutlass fish, are characterized by their elongated, thin, laterally compressed body, giving them a ribbon-like appearance. Depending on the species, they can reach lengths of more than 6 feet. They lack scales, and their coloration is usually silver or metallic, giving them a bright, striking look in the deep ocean. The vampire deer, native to Southeast Asia, is known for its long, curved fangs that can reach up to 4 inches in length. Despite its intimidating appearance, it is a herbivorous species that feeds mainly on grass, fruits, and leaves. It is a nocturnal and solitary animal, and its natural habitat includes tropical forests and mountainous areas. The Dracula parrot, also known as Pesquet's parrot, is an exotic species native to the mountains of New Guinea. Its black and red plumage, along with its featherless face and curved beak, give it a gothic and unique appearance. It measures about 18 inches long and weighs between 1.5 and 1.8 pounds. It is a frugivore that feeds mainly on figs. Marimo balls are a type of spherical green algae that naturally form in fresh water in places such as Japan, Iceland, and Estonia. Their round shape is due to water currents that constantly roll them. They grow very slowly, about 0.2 inches per year, reaching sizes of up to 12 inches in diameter, and are popular as decorative plants. Did you know there is a fish so strange it looks like a hairy sea creature? The hairy frogfish has a body covered in filaments that look like hair, but actually help it camouflage among corals. Even more surprising, it does not swim like most fish, but walks along the ocean floor using its fins like legs to stalk its prey and swallow it in a single bite. Buff lace polished chicken are an ornamental variety recognized for their unique plumage and their distinctive crown-shaped crest that covers their head, giving them a peculiar and elegant appearance. Their feathers combine golden or beige tones with dark edges, forming a lace-like pattern that makes them highly decorative. Hammerhead sharks are easily recognized by their distinctive hammer-shaped head, called a cephalofoil, which provides panoramic vision and a highly developed sense of smell. They inhabit tropical and subtropical waters around the world, preferring coastal areas and coral reefs. They can reach up to 19 feet in length, although they are generally harmless to humans. Silverback gorillas are not the leaders of their groups because they are the most aggressive, but because they are the best at avoiding conflict. Their backs turn gray due to hormonal changes when they mature. When tension rises, they beat their chest because they have lateral air sacs that allow the sound to travel for miles, announcing their position to avoid unnecessary fights. The smallest bat in the world fits on a finger. The species known as the bumblebee bat measures just about 1.2 inches and weighs around 0.07 ounces. It lives in caves in Thailand and Myanmar and is one of the smallest mammals on the entire planet, rivaling the size of some large insects. Owls can rotate their heads up to 270 degrees. This is possible because they have more neck vertebrae than humans and a circulatory system that maintains blood flow to the brain even in extreme positions. It compensates for the fact that their eyes do not move within their sockets. Geckos do not use suction or chemical adhesives to climb smooth surfaces. Their toes are covered with millions of tiny structures called setae that exploit van der Waals forces, which are weak molecular interactions. Individually, they are minimal, but collectively, they generate such immense grip strength that a single gecko could support the weight of a human. If a lion licked your hand, it would strip away your skin in seconds. Its tongue is covered in spines called filiform papillae, made of keratin like human nails. These spines point backward and are so tough that lions use them to scrape meat off bones, extracting every last bit of flesh. Lobsters have an enzyme called telomerase that repairs their DNA, allowing them to avoid cellular aging. In theory, they could live indefinitely. In practice, they die from disease parasites or because their exoskeleton becomes too heavy to shed with each growth cycle. Did you know there is an incredible salt mine turned tourist destination in Romania? The Salina Turda was exploited without interruption between the years 1075 and 1932. It maintains a constant temperature between 50 and 54 degrees Fahrenheit, covers an area of approximately 17 square miles, and has a thickness of about 820 feet. For experts, it is considered the most beautiful underground place in the world, ranks among the top 25 destinations most valued by tourists. Hamsters have cheek pouches that can expand up to 3 times the size of their head. They store food there and carry it back to their nests. Even in captivity with unlimited food available, they continue doing this out of survival instinct inherited from their wild ancestors. Parrots do not only imitate what they hear, they can also combine sounds to create their own words or phrases. Some have demonstrated intelligence similar to that of a 4-year-old child. Masha, they can use words in the correct context, making them feathered conversationalists with surprising linguistic ability. The Australian beachworm inhabits the sand of beaches in Australia. Its elongated, flexible body can reach more than 3 feet in length. These worms are blind but have an excellent sense of smell that allows them to detect food such as decaying meat or fish. Although they are not venomous, they can bite if threatened. Woodlice, also known as pillbugs, are characterized by their oval segmented body with a rigid shell formed by overlapping plates. They can roll into a ball when they feel threatened. They feed on decaying organic matter, playing an important role in nutrient decomposition within terrestrial ecosystems. Did you know the rubber hand illusion can make you feel that a fake hand is part of your body? The experiment consists of hiding your real hand and placing a rubber hand in view. Both hands are then touched simultaneously in the same positions. After several minutes, the brain begins to experience the rubber hand as part of the body. This illusion can also be induced in other body parts, such as the face or even the entire body. Sperm whales have one of the most surreal ways of sleeping in the ocean. They do not swim while sleeping. They position themselves completely vertical with their heads up or down and float motionless in groups like giant pillars underwater. These periods last only about 15 minutes, during which they shut down half of their brain. Beavers are considered a keystone species in their ecosystems because of their ability to alter their environment by building massive dams. Using branches, mud, and rocks, they create barriers that flood vast areas, forming new wetlands that filter water, create habitats for fish and amphibians, and naturally reduce erosion. The brain mushroom is a fascinating but dangerous fungus found in forests of North America and Europe. Its wrinkled appearance resembles a brain and becomes more pronounced as it matures. However, it contains gyromitrin, a toxic compound that can be fatal if eaten raw. Despite its peculiar shape, it is best admired from a distance. Did you know that in Spain there is a festival where tons of octopus are cooked in a single day? The Festa do Pulpo de Carbalino, held in Galicia, takes place every second Sunday of August. It began in 1964 as a small local celebration, and today it is one of the largest gastronomic festivals in Spain, declared of national tourist interest. During the event, thousands of pounds of octopus are prepared in enormous copper pots by expert cooks. Did you know that Komori goats have ears so long they almost touch the ground? Native to Pakistan, these goats are famous for their elegant appearance and enormous ears. Beyond their unusual look, they are highly resistant to extreme climates and valued for their milk. And in their region, they are considered symbols of beauty and are often showcased at fairs. Chameleons are famous for changing color, but their vision is even more astonishing. Their eyes can move independently, allowing them to observe in 360 degrees without moving their head. When hunting, both eyes coordinate and focus on the same point, and their tongue can shoot out at a speed of 19 feet per second, catching insects instantly. Pearls can form in mussels and clams, not only in oysters. Although oysters are the most famous pearl producers, other bivalve mollusks can also create them. Pearls form when a foreign object enters the animal, and it coats it with layers of nacre as a natural defense mechanism against irritation. The anchors of giant ships do not function like hooks that dig into rock. What truly keeps the ship in place is the enormous weight of the chain. So much chain is released that it lies along the seabed, and the friction and weight of tons of steel resting on the sand prevent the ship from moving. The anchor simply positions the beginning of that chain. The vibrant pink color of flamingos is not genetic, it depends entirely on their diet. The color comes from carotenoid pigments found in algae and small crustaceans they consume. Flamingos metabolize these carotenoids and deposit them in their feathers, acting as a signal of health and playing a key role in mate selection. The ocean sunfish is the heaviest known bony fish. It can weigh more than 4,400 pounds and may appear clumsy in the water, but it is actually quite efficient at swimming. It often rises to the surface to warm itself in the sun and allows seabirds to clean parasites from its skin, establishing a curious symbiotic relationship. Horses cannot breathe through their mouths, they are obligate nasal breathers. Unlike humans or dogs that can pant, the horse soft palate completely blocks the mouth, so air can only travel from the nose to the lungs. This allows them to eat and run at high speed at the same time without risk of choking. Did you know the creator of Pringles was buried inside a Pringles can? Frederick John Bauer was the chemist who invented in 1966 the famous cylindrical container and the curved chip shape designed using a mathematical formula called a hyperbolic paraboloid. He was so proud of his invention that when he died in 2008, he requested that part of his ashes be placed inside an original can, and his family fulfilled his wish exactly as he asked. When you move your eyes from one point to another, your brain temporarily shuts off the visual signal to prevent you from seeing the world as a blur. This phenomenon is called a saccade. The brain cuts the image during movement and then fills in the gap, creating an illusion of continuity. It is estimated that we spend around 40 minutes a day in total blindness without realizing it. The gastric acid produced by your stomach, mainly hydrochloric acid, is so strong it could corrode a razor blade. To protect itself, the stomach constantly coats its walls with a thick layer of mucus. This lining renews itself every 3 to 4 days, because otherwise the acid would eventually burn through you from the inside. Did you know that in Spain there is the largest wooden structure in the world shaped like giant mushrooms? The Metropole Parasol, also known as Las Setas de Sevilla, stands about 92 feet tall and stretches more than 490 feet. It is made of laminated wood coated with a special polyurethane layer for protection. On top, there is a panoramic walkway where you can see the city as if you were walking over futuristic mushrooms. Even though you have two nostrils, only one works at full capacity at a time. Your body alternates airflow between them every few hours in a process called the nasal cycle, controlled by the autonomic nervous system. While one side rests, the other filters warms and humidifies the air. Your nose basically works in shifts without asking for vacation. When you enter deep sleep, your sense of smell completely shuts down. The brain ignores odors to avoid waking you up. That is why smoke alarms rely on sound. A person could die in a fire simply because they cannot smell smoke while sleeping, which makes smoke detectors essential devices. Did you know that a British pianist left the stage to play exclusively for blind and disabled elephants in Thailand? Paul Barton sits beside these gentle giants and with his grand piano creates melodies that resonate through the calm atmosphere of the sanctuary. Even though the elephants cannot see, their response to the music is visible as they sway their bodies to the rhythm in appreciation. The liquid released by your sweat glands is completely odorless. The bad smell appears when bacteria living on your skin feed on the sweat and break it down. What actually smells are the chemical waste products of those bacteria. That is why deodorant is designed to fight bacteria, not sweat itself. Did you know that the Museum of the Future in Dubai has a facade illuminated by more than 45,000 feet of Arabic calligraphy? It stands about 256 feet tall and was inaugurated in February 2022 in the Dubai Financial District. With a total built area of about 329,000 square feet, it houses exhibition spaces for innovative technologies, a theater, a laboratory, and a research center. Believe it or not, all humans have about 0.0000007 ounces of gold distributed in their blood and tissues. It is not enough to make us rich, but it plays roles in enzymatic processes and electrical signal transmission. Your body is literally a living jewel. Did you know that Terry Crews is not naturally bald and that his look is completely intentional? The actor shaves his head every day by choice. The idea began in the 1990s when he played in the National Football League and did not have money for haircuts. Inspired by Michael Jordan, he shaved his head and discovered that the look projected power, confidence, and presence. Over time, it became a defining part of his identity. The masseter muscle in your jaw is strong enough to crush bone, but the nervous system has an ultra-fast pressure sensor. If you bite something unexpectedly hard like a stone, the nerves send a signal that cuts power to the muscles in milliseconds. It is a reflex that disconnects force before pressure exceeds the limit of your tooth enamel. The human tongue is made up of 8 interwoven muscles, making it a muscular hydrostat, similar to how an octopus arm or an elephant trunk works. This structure allows it to move in all directions, change shape, and apply force, precisely enabling you to speak, swallow, and taste at the same time. Your feet can grow up to 1 full size during the day. Walking and the standing cause gravity and body weight to flatten the arch slightly, and tissues swell due to blood flow. That is why it is recommended to buy shoes in the afternoon when your feet are at their largest to avoid tightness later. When your hands stay in water for a long time, the skin on your fingers wrinkles. For years, it was thought they simply absorbed water, but it is actually an evolutionary mechanism. The brain triggers this reaction to improve grip like wet tire treads. Your water wrinkles are a natural survival tool. Did you know the viscasia is a friendly rodent that always seems disappointed? It can measure up to about 31 inches long and lives in South America, from southern Bolivia and Paraguay to northern Patagonia in Argentina. It has light brown fur, large upright ears, and nearly closed eyes that give it a permanently tired expression. Mosquito saliva contains an anticoagulant that prevents blood from clotting while they feed, and that substance causes the itching afterward. Each species has its own chemical cocktail in its saliva, and not everyone reacts the same way. Some people barely itch, while others experience intense reactions. What really happens when you eat chili peppers is that the compound capsaicin tricks the brain into thinking there is extreme heat. It is not a taste but a burning sensation caused by activating pain receptors. Drinking water does not help because capsaicin is not water-soluble. Milk works better because fat dissolves the compound. Freezing food does not kill bacteria, it only puts them to sleep. When thawed, they come back to life as if nothing happened. That is why experts insist on not refreezing food that has already been thawed, since bacteria may have multiplied during the process. The freezer is not a cleaning machine. It is simply a pause button for microorganisms. Did you know laser cleaning is an eco-friendly technology that removes rust, paint, and contaminants from metal surfaces? The process uses a high-power laser beam that vaporizes impurities without damaging the base material. Due to its efficiency and precision, this technology is increasingly used in industrial applications, from restoring antique parts to maintaining heavy machinery. Coffee does not just wake you up, it also stimulates short-term memory by activating the hippocampus, the part of the brain that stores memories. Studies show that 1 cup can improve focus for hours, which is one reason many people feel they think more clearly after their morning coffee. Did you know you can now physically step into the world of your favorite Netflix series? In Philadelphia, the first permanent Netflix house has opened. It is like a theme park where you can walk through real sets, take part in interactive experiences, and even eat food inspired by the productions. From surviving challenges inspired by Squid Game to exploring sets inspired by Stranger Things, everything is designed so you live the series, not just watch it. Bamboo can grow up to 36 inches in just 24 hours, meaning you could notice the difference in height from one day to the next. This explosive growth is possible thanks to its hollow structure and extremely efficient root system. In countries such as China and Japan, bamboo symbolizes resilience and flexibility. It is possible to relight a candle through its smoke after it has been blown out. When extinguished, the hot wax continues to evaporate and mix with the air, forming a trail of flammable vapor. If a flame is brought close to the smoke before it disperses, the wax vapors ignite, and the flame travels quickly back to the wick, relighting the candle. Modern touchscreens have a layer that maintains a small electric field. When you touch it with your finger, your body, which conducts electricity, distorts that field. The phone measures the change and knows exactly where you pressed. Regular gloves insulate your skin, breaking that connection, which is why special gloves are needed. The helmet used by pilots of the F-35 Lightning II is an advanced piece of technology that projects vital information directly onto the visor, such as speed, altitude, and aircraft orientation. It also includes an integrated night vision system, and its ergonomic design ensures comfort during flights lasting several hours. The crawler transporter used by NASA is a self-propelled vehicle designed to carry rockets and spacecraft to launch pads at the Kennedy Space Center. Built in the 1960s, each unit weighs approximately 6 million pounds. It measures about 131 feet long and 114 feet wide. Three-dimensional printed meat is a food product developed through additive manufacturing technology that combines plant proteins, cultivated animal cells, or edible bioinks. Printers create complex structures such as muscle fibers and fat layers that simulate real cuts of meat, offering an innovative alternative to conventional production. The Morphobot M4 is a multifunctional robot inspired by nature, designed to adapt to different environments. It can roll on 4 wheels, transform them into rotors, to fly, stand upright on 2 wheels, to observe obstacles and walk using its wheels like legs. Its ability to reconfigure its limbs allows it to choose the most efficient form of movement depending on the terrain. The robotic rehabilitation glove is a device equipped with sensors, actuators, and motors that assist the user hand movements. It provides active and passive therapy, performing motions such as opening and closing the fingers, adapting to the needs of patients who have suffered injuries or neurological diseases that affect mobility. Laser welding is a material joining process that uses a concentrated laser beam to melt and fuse the surfaces of the parts being joined. This method enables precise, high-quality welds with minimal heat impact on surrounding areas. It is commonly used in the automotive, aerospace, and electronics industries. Velcro works through a fastening system based on 2 strips one covered with tiny hooks and the other with small loops. When pressed together, the hooks catch the loops, creating a strong, reusable bond. This mechanism was inspired by the way burrs stick to clothing or animal fur. Epoxy floor resin is a high-resistance coating composed of a base resin mixed with a hardener designed to create durable, waterproof, and visually appealing surfaces. It forms a rigid, smooth layer that protects floors against impact abrasion chemicals and moisture, making it ideal for industrial, commercial, and residential spaces. The Archax is a humanoid robot developed by a Japanese company that stands about 14 feet tall and weighs approximately 3.9 tons. It can adopt an upright posture similar to a transformer-style mecha and moves at a maximum speed of about 6 miles per hour. This robot is available for purchase at a price of $3 million. Antimatter is the most expensive substance humanity can produce. It consists of particles identical to normal matter, but with opposite charge. The cost of producing just 1 gram has been estimated at $62.5 trillion due to the immense energy, vacuum technology, and acceleration time required to generate it. Hydraulic rail bumpers are safety devices used to prevent trains from overrunning track limits. They operate through a hydraulic system that adjusts the height and pressure of the barrier. They are especially effective because of their ability to absorb impact and adapt to different train load and speed conditions. But Smart Lane is a traffic management system that uses movable medians which can shift along the roadway, adjusting the number of lanes available in each direction according to real-time traffic needs. Through sensors, cameras, and communication technology, authorities can dynamically modify lane distribution. The new fatigue detector by Volkswagen is a driver assistance system designed to identify signs of tiredness while driving. It analyzes driving patterns such as steering movements, acceleration, and braking to detect changes that indicate reduced attention. If fatigue is detected, it issues visual and audible alerts, suggesting the driver take a break. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the iPhone than to the pyramids of Egypt. Also, the Great Pyramid of Giza was built around 2,560 years before Christ, while Cleopatra lived around 30 years before Christ. The difference between the pyramids and Cleopatra is more than 2,500 years, but between her and us there are only about 2,050. Sedanil de las Bodegas is a picturesque town in the province of Cádiz, Spain, known for houses built into enormous natural rock formations. The rocks partially cover roofs and walls, providing natural thermal insulation that protects from summer heat and winter cold, creating absolutely unique architecture. Did you know that the smallest country in the world has its own soccer team, and almost no one can be a citizen? Vatican City is so small it can be crossed in less than an hour. No one is born a citizen there. Nationality is granted only through employment with the Holy See and is lost when the job ends. They even have their own soccer team made up of Swiss guards and employees, although they do not compete in FIFA. Honey is the only food that never spoils. Jars of honey have been found in tombs of ancient Egypt, more than 3,000 years old, and it was still edible. Its chemical composition, low moisture and acidity, prevent bacteria from surviving. It also naturally contains hydrogen peroxide, making it self-preserving. Napoleon Bonaparte is responsible for much of the world driving on the right side of the road. Previously, people traveled on the left to keep their right hand free for a sword. Napoleon, who was left-handed, ordered his armies to move on the right to confuse enemies. As he conquered much of Europe, he imposed this traffic rule. Vatican City statistically has the highest crime rate in the world, with more than 1.5 crimes per resident per year. This is not because cardinals are criminals, but due to a mathematical peculiarity. It has a tiny population of about 800 residents, yet receives millions of tourists. The crimes are almost exclusively pickpocketing among visitors. Carrots were not originally orange. Ancient cultivated varieties were purple or white. The orange carrot we know today was developed by Dutch farmers in the 16th century as a tribute to the House of Orange, the Dutch royal family, popularizing that color for political and patriotic reasons. 90% of the wasabi served in sushi restaurants outside Japan is not real wasabi. It is a mixture of horseradish mustard and green coloring. Authentic wasabi is an extremely difficult root to cultivate and very expensive, and it must be grated fresh because it loses its flavor in just 15 minutes. Supermarkets place milk and bread at the back of the store on purpose. It is sales engineering. By putting essential items at the end, they force shoppers to walk through aisles of treats, offers, and temptations before reaching the basics. It is a strategy designed to increase impulse purchases. The Mexico City Metro is one of the largest mass transit systems in Latin America. It was inaugurated in 1969 and has 12 lines covering more than 140 miles. It transports millions of users daily, and its stations feature distinctive iconography and cultural exhibitions. The Panama Canal is not a simple trench between oceans. The Atlantic and Pacific Oceans have different tide levels, and there is a mountain range in between. Ships enter giant locks that fill with water to lift them about 85 feet to an artificial lake, then cross the country at elevation, and are lowered again by other locks to the opposite sea. Cheese was discovered by accident more than 7,000 years ago, when someone stored milk in a container made from an animal stomach. Natural enzymes called rennet separated the liquid into curds and whey. What seemed like spoiled milk turned out to be delicious and long-lasting. Since then, humanity has created more than 2,000 types of cheese. The driest desert on the planet has areas where it has not rained for more than 500 years. Although many think of the Sahara, the record belongs to the Atacama Desert in Chile. Microscopic organisms survive there adapted to almost Martian conditions, which has led NASA to use it as a testing ground for technologies destined for Mars. In China, only one official time zone is used known as Beijing time, even though its territory spans the equivalent of 5 natural time zones. This means that in some Western regions, the sun may rise at 10 in the morning and set at midnight. Local communities unofficially adapt their schedules. The real name of Bangkok has 168 letters and is the longest city name in the world. Bangkok is just a nickname. The full name begins with Krung Thep Mahanakhon and is so long that Thai people learn it by singing a song. It roughly means City of Angels, the great city, the eternal jewel. Many people think Egypt has the most pyramids, but that title actually belongs to Sudan. In the region of Nubia, there are more than 200 pyramids built by the Kingdom of Kush. Although smaller than the Egyptian ones, they have distinct architecture and a fascinating history that often goes unnoticed. Japanese sashimono is a traditional woodworking art that consists of assembling furniture and wooden structures without using nails or screws. It relies on extremely precise wooden joints, such as mortise and tenon, to create functional and elegant pieces. It originated in the 10th century and is known for its durability, with furniture that can last for generations. In the town of Yoro in Honduras, a meteorological phenomenon known as rain of fish occurs. At least once a year after strong storms, the ground is left covered with live fish. It is believed that waterspouts suck the fish from shallow ocean waters and deposit them on land. The expression "to pay for the broken plates" dates back to Portuguese taverns of the 15th century. Upper-class customers were served on clay plates, and if one broke, it was added to a list. Lower-class customers who did not have that privilege often ended up paying for broken plates that were not theirs, carrying both the blame and the cost. The Taj Mahal was built by Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his favorite wife Mumtaz Mahal and is considered one of the greatest displays of love in history. According to legend, the emperor planned to build another Black Taj Mahal directly across the Yamuna River, but he was imprisoned by his own son before he could accomplish it. Antarctica is technically the largest desert in the world. A desert is defined by low precipitation, not by heat or sand. Antarctica receives so little precipitation, mainly in the form of snow accumulated over millennia, that it strictly meets the definition of a desert and is even larger than the Sahara. The Amazon River not only receives rain, it also generates part of it. Trees release so much moisture through transpiration that they help form clouds and rainfall over the same region. It is estimated that up to half of the Amazon rainfall is recycled by its own vegetation. It is literally a natural climate machine. Volvo invented the three-point seatbelt in 1959 through its engineer Niels Bohlin. Realizing its life-saving value, Volvo decided to release the patent so any car manufacturer could use the design free of charge. This altruistic decision is one of the greatest contributions to public safety in history. Nearly 90% of the world population lives in the Northern Hemisphere. This imbalance exists because most of the landmass is located in that half of the planet with more temperate climates suitable for agriculture. Large areas of the Southern Hemisphere are dominated by Antarctica and vast ocean expanses that limit massive human settlement. Africa is the only continent that touches all four hemispheres of the planet. It is crossed by both the equator, which divides the northern and southern hemispheres, and the prime meridian, which separates the eastern and western hemispheres. This geographic position makes it the only continent with territory in all four quadrants of Earth. The origin of the car turn signal was not an automotive invention, but an adaptation of 19th century railway signals. Trains used flashing colored lights to communicate movements and avoid collisions. When cars became faster and more numerous, the same signaling system was adapted to alert other drivers. Gruyere cheese is a Swiss cheese made from cow milk, famous for its firm texture and rich, nutty flavor. Its aging process ranges between 5 and 12 months. Its rind is natural, and its interior is pale yellow with some holes. It is the holy cheese that always appears in cartoons, and it truly exists. A computer keyboard can have up to 400 times more bacteria than a toilet seat. This happens because we touch it every day and rarely clean it. Many people also eat in front of the computer, leaving crumbs trapped between the keys. Regular disinfection helps maintain proper hygiene. Those black dots and the black band that border the windows of cars, buses, and trains are not stickers. They are baked ceramic paint called frit. They protect the adhesive that holds the glass from ultraviolet rays, and the dots gradually disperse heat. Without them, thermal shock between the black edge and the clear glass would cause the window to crack. Cashews are never sold in their shell because the shell contains a powerful caustic oil called ruschiol, the same toxin found in poison ivy. Touching the shell could cause chemical blisters. The nuts must be industrially heat processed to remove the toxin before they can be safely consumed. Airplanes do not have keys. You will not see a pilot inserting a key into an ignition. They are started through a series of switches and buttons that activate a small rear turbine, which then starts the main engines. They do not use keys because airports are high security zones, and no one wants to lose the key to a $200 million aircraft. Airline pilots are not allowed to have long or thick beards. The reason is purely safety related. A dense beard can interfere with the airtight seal of an emergency oxygen mask, which is vital if the cabin loses pressure mid-flight. This could compromise the pilot ability to breathe in a critical situation. The third hole in 3-prong plugs is not for electricity, but exclusively for grounding. If an electrical fault causes current to touch the metal frame of an appliance, the third prong immediately diverts that current into the ground, triggering the circuit breaker and preventing a potentially fatal electric shock. Most phones have a small raised triangle or bump on the number 5 key. This feature allows visually impaired users, or anyone in the dark, to orient themselves without looking. From there, it is easy to count up, down, left, or right to find any number. It is a brilliant accessibility detail. While shopping malls are intentionally designed with few windows and very few visible clocks. This strategy creates a timeless bubble environment. By removing references to the outside world, and time shoppers are encouraged to lose track of time, which according to studies promotes longer visits and therefore higher spending. If you place food in the exact center of a microwave turntable, the electromagnetic wave does not distribute evenly. If you place the container slightly off-center, the food rotates through different heat zones and warms much more evenly. The trick was always to move the plate slightly, not to buy a new microwave. Wagyu beef is one of the most exclusive meats in the world, originating in Japan. Its main characteristic is its intense marbling, the uniform distribution of intramuscular fat that gives it an extremely tender texture and rich flavor. Wagyu cattle are raised under strict standards with special diets and meticulous care to guarantee superior quality. Body suspension is a technique that uses ropes or cables to lift and support the body in the air in a controlled manner. It is common in disciplines such as circus arts acrobatics and is also used in some traditional rituals or artistic performances. The body weight is carefully distributed to ensure safety. Vacuum packaging is a preservation method that removes air from inside a bag before sealing it, reducing oxidation and the growth of microorganisms. This process significantly extends the shelf life of perishable products such as meats, cheeses, and vegetables, maintaining freshness and quality much longer than usual. The Korean word Samsung literally translates to 3 stars. The number 3 in Korean culture is associated with something big, numerous, and powerful. The name was chosen by its founder with the vision that the company would become something as great and eternal as the stars in the sky, an ambition it has clearly achieved globally. The wool of domestic sheep, especially the merino breed, has a continuous growth cycle unlike human hair. This mutation was encouraged through selective breeding. If a domestic sheep is not shorn annually, its wool will continue growing, becoming heavy and matted, which can cause serious mobility and health problems. The most consumed beverage on the planet is not coffee or beer, but tea. It is estimated that more than 3 billion cups are consumed every day worldwide. From green tea in Asia to black tea in England, it is the drink that most unites different cultures and has been present in human history for thousands of years. Placing your feet on the dashboard while riding in a car may seem comfortable, but it is extremely dangerous. In a collision, the airbag deployment would propel the passenger knees with explosive force into their own face, causing severe facial injuries, hip fractures, and spinal damage that is often permanent. Modern toothpaste is designed to be as safe as possible. Many of its ingredients, such as glycerin and sweeteners, are edible and come from the food industry. And this was originally done with young children in mind who inevitably swallow small amounts. While it is not recommended to eat it in large quantities because of fluoride, it is not poisonous. The Pacific Ocean is so vast that it has its own antipode. It is so immense that there are points where, if you traveled straight through the Earth from one side, you would emerge in another part of the same Pacific Ocean. It is larger than the entire land surface of all continents combined, making it the most imposing body of water on the planet. The Veiled Virgin is a marble sculpture created by the Italian sculptor Giovanni Strazza in the 19th century. It represents the Virgin Mary with a delicately carved veil that appears translucent, subtly revealing her facial features. The work demonstrates masterful skill in conveying lightness and realism in such a solid material as marble. In China, there is a glass suspension bridge with a special integrated effect. Sensors detect people walking and display simulated cracks on LED screens that appear under their feet, accompanied by the sound of breaking glass. Although it is completely safe, more than one tourist has fallen to the ground, screaming, believing they were about to fall into the void. The light we see from stars is literally mail from the past. The closest star after the sun is 4 light years away, which means when you look at it, you are seeing how it was 4 years ago. If a star 1,000 light years away exploded today, we would not know until the year 3025. Looking at the night sky is observing the history of the universe. Old tires cannot simply be burned because they are highly polluting. Today they are shredded into fine rubber powder that is mixed with road asphalt, making it more elastic and quieter. They are also used to manufacture soft playground surfaces, giving them a second life after their original use. In South Korea, there is a hospital for mobile phones. In Seoul, a center where technicians repair smartphones is designed like a real hospital. Employees wear white coats, phones are admitted with a medical record, and urgent repairs are called express surgeries. It is a marketing strategy that has attracted thousands of people just to live the experience. Mining truck tires are enormous and extremely expensive. A large mining truck has tires that measure about 13 feet in height, roughly twice the height of a human. Each tire can cost between $30,000 and $40,000, weighs about 5 tons, and requires a special crane with hydraulic systems to be replaced. When almost all world maps use the Mercator projection, which enlarges countries the farther they are from the equator. That is why Greenland appears as large as Africa, when in reality Africa is 14 times larger. Within the outline of Africa, you could easily fit China, the United States, India, Japan, and most of Europe. A rip current viewed from above shows strong channels of water moving away from the beach in the opposite direction of the shore. They usually form near sandbars when waves approach in a straight line and have no lateral escape. They are dangerous for unsuspecting swimmers because they are invisible from the shoreline. Lake Natron in Tanzania transforms animals that fall into it into petrified figures due to its extreme alkalinity. Photographer Nick Brandt captured haunting images of birds turned into natural sculptures, creating both fascination and fear. Najobi Aviation tests electric air taxis in California that take off vertically and reach 200 miles per hour. These aircraft aim to begin commercial operations before 2026, ushering in the era of urban air mobility. In the film The Matrix Reloaded, a sequence of green code includes Japanese characters' reverse numbers and even sushi recipes. Designer Simon Whiteley revealed that his wife from Tokyo provided the culinary formulas used as the base of the code. In Dubai, the Museum of the Future rises as an oval structure covered in steel and laser-engraved Arabic calligraphy. Its calculated void symbolizes a knowledge yet to be discovered, blending art, technology, and philosophy. Tren Maya in Mexico combines modern engineering with ancient roots. Its railway connects archaeological zones with tropical ecosystems, promoting sustainable tourism and cultural preservation in the Southeast. In the series The Simpsons, the episode Lisa's Wedding from 1995 predicted smartwatches and video calls. Decades later, both inventions became reality, reinforcing the show's prophetic reputation. In Norway, the phenomenon known as the midnight sun illuminates the sky 24 hours a day during summer. This occurs due to Earth's axial tilt, inspiring nighttime festivals under a sun that never sets. The Mercedes-Benz Vision AVTR, inspired by the film Avatar, is controlled by hand gestures and recognizes the driver's pulse. Its biometric interior adapts to emotional states and uses fully recyclable materials. In Japan, archaeologists discovered in 2023 a curved sword over 10 feet long, buried beside a 4th century warrior. Its spiral design suggests ceremonial symbolism rather than combat use. In Greenland, the Jakobshavn Glacier advances and retreats several miles each year, emitting deep sounds scientists compare to a planetary heartbeat. Recordings help predict the pace of global ice melt. The Japanese company Mimic Motion develops prosthetics inspired by octopus tentacles. These robotic limbs use suction mechanisms that attach like living tissue, allowing movements more precise than a human hand, a breakthrough presented in 2023. In 2020, a volcano in Philippines sent ash more than 9 miles into the sky. At sunrise, the cloud formed the shape of a dragon, and thousands shared the image online, turning it into an internet icon. Engineers studying hummingbirds at Stanford University designed drones capable of maintaining stability in turbulence. By replicating microscopic wing structures, they achieved hovering flight without energy loss. During the 2020 quarantine, millions of users turned the song Dreams by Fleetwood Mac into a global sensation after a viral TikTok video showed a man skateboarding while drinking cranberry juice. And the clip revived the band's 1970s-era popularity. The tallest tree on Earth is named Hyperion and stands over 370 feet tall. It was discovered in 2006 in a California redwood forest, and its exact location remains secret to prevent tourist damage. Engineers at Boston Dynamics created the robot Spot Mini, capable of opening doors by mimicking a dog's movement. Its artificial intelligence analyzes surroundings and adapts its flexible body like a real mammal, merging biology and technology. In 2022 in Nasseré, the German surfer Sebastian Steutner broke the world record riding an 85-foot wave, roughly the height of an 8-story building. The TikTok user known as Corn Kid went viral for his genuine enthusiasm about corn. His phrase "it's corn" became a song, merchandise, and even educational material, proving how authenticity can transform the internet. In Argentina, the Perito Moreno Glacier advances up to 6 feet per day, producing a constant cracking sound geologists call the heartbeat of the ice. Every 4 years, a spectacular rupture attracts thousands of visitors to Los Glaciares National Park. In 2019, a user posted a photo of an egg on Instagram, aiming to surpass the like record of Kylie Jenner. The image earned more than 50 million likes, becoming an unprecedented viral social experiment. The largest flower in the world, Rafflesia arnoldi, can reach 3 feet in diameter and releases a scent similar to rotting meat. This strategy attracts insects that assist in pollination, a method as strange as it is effective. In 2022, a video of a cat interrupting a church service in Brazil went viral. Instead of pushing it away, the priest gently petted the animal while continuing his sermon, generating millions of views and showing that tenderness can also be spiritual. Designers of smart materials created fabrics inspired by chameleon skin. They used nanocrystals that shift color with light or temperature, opening the door to fashion that adapts to its surroundings without artificial pigments. A Star Wars fan built a functional plasma lightsaber, reaching temperatures above 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit. He posted the experiment on YouTube in 2021 and surpassed 20 million views, proving science fiction can literally ignite. And engineers at California Institute of Technology designed solar panels inspired by sunflower leaves that automatically follow the sun. This heliotropic model increased energy efficiency by up to 40% in laboratory tests. In 2018, the Kiki Challenge spread worldwide as thousands of people danced beside moving cars. Although authorities banned it in several countries, it left a lasting mark on digital culture. German engineers developed trains that mimic the aerodynamics of the hammerhead shark. The Velaro Novo models reduce air resistance and consume 30% less energy than conventional trains. In the Sahara Desert, an ephemeral lake appears about every 10 years after unusual rainfall. Its bright blue water vanishes within days, leaving behind salt incrustations and ancient fish fossils, creating an otherworldly landscape. Inspired by the silent flight of the owl, British engineers created wind turbines that reduce noise by up to 70%. Serrated blades imitate feather structures, achieving both efficiency and discretion. The longest recorded rainbow occurred in Taiwan in 2017, lasting nearly 9 hours. Meteorologists explain the phenomenon resulted from constant humidity and an unusual solar angle. On Reddit, fans of Taylor Swift discovered a hidden code in the typography of the album Midnights. Each letter corresponded to a constellation, and together they formed the word lover, turning the discovery into a celestial puzzle. For the shortest river in the world, the Roe River in Montana measures just 200 feet, linking a spring to the Missouri River. Despite its size, it supports surprisingly diverse microscopic life. On TikTok, a humorous trend called Book Talk Cry turned tears into content. Readers shared emotional reactions to sad novels, boosting sales of titles such as It Ends With Us to record levels. On Mount Etna, an eruption in 2022 produced lightning within lava columns, a phenomenon known as a dirty storm. Ash particles generated electrical charges that lit the sky with violet flashes. A Harry Potter fan recreated Hogwarts inside Minecraft with extraordinary precision. The project began in 2014, took more than 6 years to complete, and eventually led to collaboration with Warner Brothers. In 2022, the influencer KB Lame became the most followed creator on TikTok, using only gestures and expressions of disbelief, proving simplicity can cross cultural barriers. In Canada, Abraham Lake produces frozen methane bubbles that look like lanterns trapped beneath the ice. Photos of the phenomenon go viral every winter, blending natural art with chemical danger. Fans of Barbie turned the phrase "Hi Ken" into a global trend during its 2023 premiere. Social media filled with memes and pink outfits, reviving a retro aesthetic and surpassing $1 billion in box office revenue. In the heart of Turkey lies Derinkuyu, an underground city carved more than 2,000 years ago. This maze of tunnels could shelter 20,000 people and included ventilation shafts, stables, and schools. It reaches a depth of about 280 feet below ground. In 2023, marine biologists discovered in the Pacific Ocean a jellyfish called Atolla reynoldsa. Its bioluminescence creates spirals of blue light that look like alien code. It was found at a depth of more than 3,300 feet. The artificial intelligence robot Amaka, created by Engineered Arts, amazes audiences with almost perfect human expressions. Its silicone face can smile, frown, and mimic emotions, making it one of the most realistic humanoid robots today. In 2020, a video of a frog wearing a cowboy hat singing along to Old Town Road went viral on TikTok. The absurd yet adorable clip reached 100 million views and inspired thousands of farm animal versions. In the desert of Namibia, the whistling forest features rock formations that emit melodic sounds when the wind blows. Locals say the stones sing, while geologists explain the effect as natural granite vibrations. The sleeping fish gadget, invented in 2022 in Australia, measures the sleep quality of pet fish using motion sensors. Though it sounds like a joke, it helps detect stress in luxury aquariums. And during the Tokyo 2021 Olympic Games, a viral moment featured Italian athlete Gianmarco Tamburi and Qatari athlete Mutaz Essabarshim. They chose to share the gold medal in high jump, creating an emotional global reaction. In 2018, scientists in Indonesia identified the Tapanuli orangutan, a great ape species with only about 800 individuals, reshaping the evolutionary classification of primates. The mystery of the ghost ship Kaz-2 in Australia baffled investigators in 2007. The vessel was found drifting with the table set for a meal, but no crew and no signs of violence. Among unusual gadgets is the holographic hugging suit developed in Japan in 2022. It allows people to hug remotely using pneumatic pressure technology designed for long-distance relationships or loneliness. The Hessdalen lights in Norway have remained unexplained since the 1980s. They glow in the sky without a clear pattern, challenging theories about gases, electricity, or weather. The jackalope, long considered an American legend, gained scientific context in 2020 when researchers identified a virus that causes horn-like growths in rabbits, giving biological roots to the myth. A viral absurd moment occurred when Elon Musk smoked herbs during an interview in 2018. Shares of Tesla dropped immediately, yet the scene became a global meme and symbol of corporate irreverence. Among unusual urban trends is the silent disco, where hundreds of people dance wearing headphones in complete silence. Each participant listens to different music, creating parties without public noise in plazas and museums. In the desert of Namibia, mysterious formations known as fairy circles have covered the ground for centuries. In 2017, a video of a man dressed as a T-Rex running through a snowstorm in New York City surpassed 50 million views. The absurd and comic scene turned him into a symbol of urban resilience. An unsolved mystery involves the metallic monoliths that suddenly appeared in several countries during 2020. No one claimed responsibility, and their resemblance to 2001, a space odyssey, fueled alien theories. Among the strangest inventions is the hamster translator, a Japanese prototype from 2022 that claims to interpret rodent sounds into human emotions. Although experimental, it was presented humorously at technology expos. Kola Super Deep Borehole in Russia is the deepest human drilling ever achieved, reaching 40,230 feet below the surface, deeper than the height of Mount Everest. The project was created to study Earth's crust, not to search for oil. Temperatures exceeded 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and rocks behaved almost like plastic forcing scientists to stop. Watercar created the Watercar EV, an electric amphibious vehicle that travels on both road and sea, carrying up to 6 people. It switches modes at the push of a button and features retractable wheels, an aluminum foam-filled hull, and a canopy support bar. In China, a futuristic public transport system runs on elevated tracks, offering panoramic windows and a glass floor, giving riders sweeping city views unlike conventional buses or subways. Ancient Egyptian mummification took 70 days. Organs were removed except the heart, and the body was covered in natron to dehydrate it. Once dried, it was filled with aromatic substances and wrapped in resin-coated linen bandages, each step carrying deep religious meaning. The rescue drone, USB Nudic, reaches speeds of about 10 miles per hour and can tow up to 530 pounds. It features a self-righting system and is remotely guided to deliver flotation and pull victims to safety. The Jungfraujoch in Switzerland sits at 11,332 feet above sea level. Visitors ride a cogwheel train through tunnels carved into the Alps, emerging above glaciers and snow-covered peaks, earning it the nickname Top of Europe. In Bulgaria, Kukeri dancers perform an ancient winter ritual to drive away evil spirits, wearing elaborate masks and belts with massive bells, accompanied by musicians through village streets. Inside Minecraft, the uncensored library created by Reporters Without Borders stores banned journalism, as in game books, providing a digital refuge for free expression. Artist Yannis Mystikos practices solar pyrography, using a magnifying glass and sunlight to burn portraits into wood, creating intricate art powered only by the sun. The black serval is a rare melanistic variant of the African serval, capable of leaping more than 10 feet vertically and detecting prey by sound. Only a few cases have been documented in East Africa, and it remains wild and territorial. The Paternoster elevator at Prague City Hall in Czech Republic consists of open compartments moving continuously in a loop without stopping its name, inspired by the Latin prayer. The Suriname toad reproduces in a startling way, with fully formed young emerging from holes in the mother's back, a natural process that seems like science fiction. The common house gecko is considered a helpful intruder, feeding on mosquitoes, flies, ants, and small roaches, serving as natural pest control without posing danger. In Iceland, the reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians streams kittens live around the clock on YouTube, turning them into national celebrities. Recinto Modernista de Sant Pau in Barcelona, designed by Luis Domènech i Leonardo Montaner, resembles a palace of mosaics and gardens, built to offer beauty and dignity to patients and now recognized as a World Heritage Site. In 2009, Volkswagen launched the Fun Theory campaign, transforming subway stairs into giant piano keys, encouraging healthier choices through play. Netball is played on a court measuring about 98 by 49 feet, divided into thirds with elevated hoops. Popular in Commonwealth nations, it differs significantly from traditional basketball. Our ice hotel in Jukkasjärvi is rebuilt every winter entirely from ice, with interior temperatures between 23 and 17 degrees Fahrenheit, offering an extreme artistic adventure. In Chennai, the restaurant robot employs humanoid robot servers, delivering meals to tables, attracting locals and tourists alike. Photographer Shannon Norton captured 160,000 frames of the sun, producing a detailed time-lapse of solar eruptions and hydrogen alpha regions. San Benedicto Island in Mexico features a massive volcanic formation rising from the ocean, surrounded by waters filled with giant manta rays and sharks within a vast protected marine area. In Democratic Republic of the Congo, the wooden vehicle known as Chukadu has served communities for more than 40 years, transporting heavy loads using eucalyptus wood and recycled tires. Artificial intelligence-powered binoculars can identify more than 9,000 species within about 5 seconds, focusing on subjects as close as 10 feet and offering up to 15 hours of battery life. On Lake Chippewa in Wisconsin, naturally floating islands drift with the wind, their trees acting like sails, sometimes blocking bridges until locals push them aside. Le Grand Buffets in Narbonne is considered the largest luxury buffet in the world, famous for holding the biggest cheese collection in a single restaurant and generating more than $1 billion in revenue over time. Or Pirangi cashew tree in Brazil covers nearly 97,000 square feet, its unusual sideways growth caused by rare genetic anomalies. Afshin Gadarzadeh from Iran measures about 25 inches tall and weighs around 13 pounds, proving that greatness is not defined by height. The pennant bird of paradise measures about 13 inches, and males perform a courtship dance spreading neck feathers like a black skirt in one of nature's most unusual displays. The thylacine, also known as the Tasmanian tiger, went extinct after human persecution. The last known individual, named Benjamin, died in Hobart Zoo in 1936. 19-year-old runner Lloyd Martin from Cardiff completed the London Marathon, becoming the youngest person with Down syndrome to finish the race after 5 months of training. Dalal in Ethiopia is one of the hottest places on Earth, with temperatures above 113 degrees Fahrenheit and landscapes painted in surreal mineral colors, beautiful yet toxic. The flag of Mozambique is the only national flag in the world that features a modern firearm. It displays an AK-47, symbolizing the struggle for independence and national defense, alongside a hoe representing agriculture and a book symbolizing education. Did you know there is an artificial intelligence machine built specifically to find Wally in the books? It is called There's Waldo and was designed by the company Red Pepper. Using a robotic arm and facial recognition, it can locate the character in just 4.45 seconds. Some praise the achievement, while others say it removes the fun from the game. Billionaire Adrian Portelli lifted a McLaren Senna GTR to the 57th floor of a building in Melbourne. A massive crane removed a window and raised the vehicle to his penthouse, turning the supercar into a living room centerpiece many consider rolling art. Polydactyly is a congenital condition in which a person is born with extra fingers or toes. The additional digits can appear anywhere on the hand, are often smaller than fully formed fingers, and can range from a small bump to a fully connected digit with bone. The bittern is a marsh bird that can seem invisible when it stands still. It stretches its neck upward and points its beak to the sky, blending perfectly with reeds. Its deep call can be heard for miles and has inspired legends in many cultures. Antilia in Mumbai, owned by Mukesh Ambani, is considered the most expensive home in the world, costing more than $1 billion. The 27-story building spans about 400,000 square feet and includes 3 helipads, a cinema, a health center, a dance studio, and a 6-level underground garage for 160 vehicles. It was engineered to withstand an earthquake of magnitude 8. The Jingkou Grand Canyon Road in China was completed after nearly 7 years of work. A 26-mile section runs as a viaduct suspended between towering cliffs carved by the Dadu River over millions of years, representing a major engineering feat. Wasgyro Glove is a wearable device designed to help patients with Parkinson's disease regain hand stability. Using a gyroscope mounted on the back of the hand, it provides mechanical stabilization, improving control for daily activities such as eating, though it does not cure the disease. Beneath a gas station lie enormous underground storage tanks connected by pipes and sensors. Modern safety systems include double-walled tanks and leak detection technology, ensuring safe refueling. Gran Abuelo in Chile is estimated to be more than 5,400 years old, making it older than the pyramids of Egypt. It grows only millimeters per year, and its precise location is kept secret for protection. An ultraviolet camera can reveal hidden sun damage on human skin. In experiments, it exposed invisible marks caused by radiation and demonstrated the protective effect of sunscreen, highlighting the importance of daily use. The Peel P50, built in the 1960s, measures about 4.5 feet long and weighs only 130 pounds, making it the smallest production car in the world. It has no reverse gear, so drivers must lift and turn it manually using a rear handle. El Ojo in the Paraná River Delta of Argentina forms a nearly perfect circle surrounded by a ring about 390 feet in diameter. The floating vegetation mass slowly rotates and moves, driven by water currents and wind. Jellyfish Lake in Palau allows visitors to swim among millions of golden jellyfish that lost their sting due to the absence of predators, creating a surreal and safe experience. In Japan, a company developed a robotic limb system shaped like spider arms, consisting of 6 mechanical appendages that can attach, detach, and interact with artificial intelligence as extensions of the human body. Yet in Angelines Fernandez, known as La Bruja del 71 in El Chavo del Ocho, previously fought with Republican militias during the Spanish Civil War before fleeing to Mexico, where she rebuilt her life and career. In Dubai, a SIM card containing the number 7777 sold for more than $71,000, equivalent to about 3,200,000 dirhams, showing how lucky numbers can command huge sums. Symphony of the Stones in Armenia features basalt columns rising nearly 160 feet, formed by cooling volcanic lava resembling a giant stone organ. The middle finger gesture traces back to the 100 Years' War, when English archers reportedly displayed their intact fingers in defiance after battle, transforming it over time into a universal insult. Dmitry Mendeleev reportedly conceived the periodic table in a dream, arranging elements by atomic weight and leaving gaps for undiscovered elements that were later confirmed. Since 2011, a penguin named Dindim returns each June to visit João Pereira de Sousa in Brazil after being rescued from an oil spill, staying about 8 months before returning to sea. An epidural is a medical technique that blocks labor pain by inserting a catheter into the lower back, allowing the mother to remain awake while significantly reducing discomfort. One Vietnamese carpenter, Truong Van Dao, spent 100 days building a wooden replica of the Tesla Cybertruck, complete with internal metal frame suspension battery pack and wooden wheels. Studies suggest female flatulence may contain higher concentrations of sulfur compounds, causing stronger odor, while men typically produce greater volume with less intensity. Young kangaroos leave the pouch permanently around 8 months of age, but continue returning for safety and feeding for several more months, using it as a secure refuge. Among the newer of South Sudan, ghost marriage allows a deceased man's lineage to continue through children legally recognized as his. Ryu Kobayashi achieved a ski jump of about 955 feet in Iceland, surpassing the previous record by more than 120 feet. Rovaniemi in Finland is known as the official hometown of Santa Claus, where visitors can cross the Arctic Circle and experience Christmas year-round. Skyquakes are atmospheric acoustic disturbances caused by sudden air compression. Termitomyces titanicus in Zambia is the largest edible mushroom in the world, large enough to feed an entire family during rainy seasons. The venom from the deathstalker scorpion can cost $39 million per gallon due to the difficulty and danger of extraction. Yet it contains compounds studied for cancer research. SEA Aquarium in Singapore holds about 12 million gallons of water, houses 100,000 animals from more than 800 species, and opened on December 7, 2012. In the year 79, Mount Vesuvius erupted, burying Pompeii in ash, preserving buildings and even human forms, creating a unique time capsule of Roman life. The largest wine cellar in the world looks like an underground city. It is called Milești Mici, and it is located in Moldova. It has nearly 125 miles of underground tunnels where close to 2 million bottles of wine are stored. The galleries have streets named after grape varieties, traffic signs, and even traffic lights, and they are toured by car. The Guinness World Records officially recognized it as the largest wine cellar on the planet. The flag of Alaska was designed by a 13-year-old boy. In 1927, Benny Benson entered a school contest and created a design with deep meaning. The 7 stars of the Big Dipper represent strength and guidance, while the North Star symbolizes the future of the state. The blue background represents the Alaska sky, and its official flower, the forget-me-not. As a prize, Benny received $1,000 and a watch. Did you know that in the French Alps there is a glass lookout with a drop of more than 3,000 feet to the nearest rock? It is called Step into the Void, and it sits at the top of Aiguille du Midi. It is a glass box with walls, ceiling, and floor extending from the mountain edge, giving visitors the sensation of floating above the Alps. In Sweden, you can be fined simply for leaving your dog alone too long. It is illegal to leave a dog alone for more than 6 hours. The law recognizes that dogs are social beings and need companionship. Owners must organize their day to care for them or face fines. Did you know that French climber Anouk Garnier climbed the Eiffel Tower using only her hands, legs, and a small rope? She completed the feat in just 18 minutes, becoming a reference in urban climbing through determination and resilience. The largest leaf in the world can be taller than a person. Yet the plant Coccoloba gigantifolia from the Amazon has leaves that exceed 8 feet in length. They are so large they can completely cover an adult and act like giant solar panels, capturing the limited light that reaches the forest floor. It is possible to insert a new section into an already built ship. In naval engineering, ships can literally be cut in half, so a new structural section can be added, changing the vessel length, shape, or function when expansion or redesign is needed. Did you know there is a palm tree that spends decades preparing to bloom only once and then dies? The Corypha umbraculifera can grow for about 80 years, storing energy. When the time comes, it produces a massive flowering with millions of blossoms, and after that single spectacular event, the tree dies. In Romania, the Bigar waterfall became famous not for its height, but for its fairy tale shape. Water flowed gently over a moss-covered rock, creating a magical veil effect. Although part of it collapsed due to natural causes, it is still remembered as one of the most delicate waterfalls in the world. Did you know that Terry Crews is not naturally bald and that his look is intentional? He shaves his head every day by choice. The idea began in the 1990s while he played in the NFL and could not afford regular haircuts. Inspired by Michael Jordan, he adopted the shaved look, which later became part of his identity. There are white strawberries that taste like pineapple, and they are called pineberry and look like unripe strawberries, white with red seeds, yet their flavor combines strawberry and tropical pineapple. They are difficult to grow and are considered a luxury product, especially in Asia. A Canadian inventor named Troy Hurtubise spent his life creating a suit to survive a bear attack. His obsession began in 1984 after surviving a close encounter with a grizzly bear. When he developed the Ursus suit, testing it by being struck with objects thrown down rocky slopes and even hit by vehicles to prove its resistance. Did you know there is a volcano so perfectly circular it is called the navel of the world? The volcan Zico, located in the valley of Chalco in Mexico, has an almost perfectly round crater best seen from the air. Though inactive, its fertile interior is used for agriculture. The crocodile logo of Lacoste was born from a bet on a tennis court. In 1923, French player René Lacoste was nicknamed the Crocodile by the American press for his aggressive playing style. A friend drew a small crocodile which he embroidered on his shirts, creating one of the most recognizable logos in the world. There are people symbolically married to artificial intelligence. Some individuals form emotional relationships with AI through apps that learn and simulate affection. While it can reduce loneliness, experts warn it may also increase social isolation. In Vevey, Switzerland, a giant fork stands in Lake Geneva. The stainless steel fork rises about 26 feet high and was installed to celebrate the anniversary of the local food museum, becoming a symbol of the city. Popcorn Beach, located in the north of Fuerteventura, looks like it is covered in popcorn, but the white pieces are actually coral, like algae formations, that take centuries to form. Removing them is now prohibited due to ecological damage caused by tourism. Did you know that Stonehenge remains a 5,000-year-old mystery? No one knows exactly why it was built with stones weighing about 25 tons, transported from far away. It may have been a temple, solar calendar, or healing center, and during each solstice, the sun aligns with its stones. Number Taipei 101 contains a massive steel sphere weighing about 730 tons suspended between the 87th and 92nd floors. This tuned mass damper moves opposite to the building during strong winds or earthquakes, reducing sway by up to 40%, and visitors can see it in person. The creator of Pringles, Frederick Bauer, was buried in one of the iconic cans after inventing the tubular container and chip shape, leaving part of himself inside his greatest creation. Hey, did you know that Scrat from the Ice Age franchise finally ate his acorn? On April 13, 2022, animators from Blue Sky Studios released a farewell video after the studio was acquired and closed by Disney, giving closure to the beloved character. In some regions of China, there are tombs with transparent panels and internal lighting, allowing the deceased to be viewed from outside, reflecting cultural differences in funeral traditions. And the most expensive liquid in the world is venom from the deathstalker scorpion. Its price can reach $39 million per gallon because it must be extracted drop by drop. It contains compounds such as chlorotoxin, studied for detecting and treating brain tumors and neurological diseases. Did you know there is a cafe hanging from a mountain in Egypt that looks like something from a fairy tale? Farsha Cafe in Sharm el-Sheikh overlooks the Red Sea and is decorated with carpets and lanterns. At night, lit by candles, it feels magical and unreal. Did you know there is a suitcase that can carry you instead of you carrying it? It is called Motobag and can transport a person weighing up to 260 pounds for a distance of about 6 miles per charge at speeds up to 8 miles per hour. It includes brakes and GPS tracking through a mobile app. Beneath Istanbul lies the Basilica Cistern, built centuries ago to store water. It contains 336 columns, many reused from ancient temples, and mysterious Medusa heads at their bases, creating an unforgettable underground atmosphere. And that cave of the Mutnovsky volcano, a place with one of the most incredible natural landscapes in the world. The astonishing natural wonder is located on the Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia. The cave has a very curious appearance inside, resembling a giant brain or a long cloud pathway. These formations were created by a water current flowing from the hot springs of the volcano, and as the liquid flows, it creates these fascinating paths between glaciers. Let me introduce you to the yellow-crested penguin, an animal with a charming appearance. This interesting species inhabits the southernmost part of South America, and most of its body is black, including its flippers. Its most remarkable feature is a yellow crest, which is why many call it the punk penguin. This animal can dive up to 100 meters deep for several minutes while hunting and is quite popular due to several animated films. Did you know that when you use a laptop, you blink less than you should? Humans blink about 20 times per minute, but studies have shown that when you're in front of a computer, this number drops to just 3 or 4 times per minute. The reason is that when you look at something so bright, your brain focuses and blinks much less. Over time, this could cause eye health problems, so it's important to take precautions and rest your eyes regularly. Kawa-Ijen Lake is now considered the most acidic lake in the world. It is located on the crater of a volcano on the island of Java, Indonesia. Its sulfuric gases are highly toxic and foul-smelling, so we couldn't get close to this lake without suffering serious health effects. If we were to accidentally fall into its waters, our skin would burn in a matter of seconds, and it would take between 12 and 48 hours for us to completely disappear, leaving no trace behind. Believe it or not, a koala caused a multi-car accident in Australia. And behind this adorable photo lies a real chaos that occurred when 6 drivers braked and maneuvered to avoid hitting the koala, wandering on the road. This happened on a highway in Adelaide, but luckily none of the drivers were injured. After the accident, a woman caught the koala, placed it in her car, and it quickly posed behind the wheel with a guilty look on its face. There's a specific reason why school buses have those black lines on their sides. These lines serve a function beyond design. They are called friction rails and are placed in very specific parts of the vehicle to reinforce its thin walls. This way, in case of a collision, the rails would absorb the impact force, protecting the passengers inside the bus. Bills have patterns that prevent them from being reproduced by photocopiers. There's a security system built into paper money to prevent counterfeiting, and it works perfectly because printers recognize the patterns and adjust the design. Some programs, like Photoshop, it even recognize bills and won't allow them to be edited or duplicated, helping to prevent fraud. This security feature has greatly reduced counterfeiting worldwide. This is the Henna Hotel in Japan, a place where only strange robots serve. To begin with, henna means strange in Japanese, so the name gives us a clue about what to expect. The receptionists are two velociraptors that can speak several languages. The cleaning staff consists of automatic vacuum cleaners, and even the fish are robots. If you plan to visit this hotel, just remember, you will never be served by humans. The capybara is considered one of the friendliest animals in the world. One of the characteristics that has made this species so popular is its ability to form relationships with other animals. From turtles to crocodiles, ducks, monkeys, and birds, the capybara has an extensive social circle. This animal is very calm and also an excellent swimmer, so most of its jungle companions ride on its back like a bus, creating some adorable friendships. The Zhangjiajie Bridge, located in a province in China called Hunan, has a name that means Bridge of the Brave Men in Chinese because it is the first hanging bridge with a glass floor in the entire world. This bridge used to have a wooden floor, but in the year 2014, the first transparent section was open. The decision was made to replace all the wooden panels with 24mm thick glass, making the experience of crossing it terrifying. Many people even suffer panic attacks halfway across. Blue tomatoes are a variety that has been cultivated to produce high levels of anthocyanins, the pigments responsible for their curious color. This alters their flavor and makes them slightly acidic, but it also makes them more resistant to diseases. The blue or purple hue can be seen not only on the outside, but also in the pulp of the fruit. This variety has generated significant interest in the scientific community due to its antioxidant properties. Have you ever wondered what the largest island in the world is? Due to its geological features, it is Greenland, with an area of 2.1 million square kilometers. It is an autonomous region of the Kingdom of Denmark, completely surrounded by water. And although over 75% of Greenland's surface is covered by ice, it has nearly 60,000 inhabitants who have adapted to this extreme climate. This was the first diet soda in history. It was invented in 1952 by Hyman and Morris Kirsch, a father and son duo of Russian immigrants in the United States. Their brand was called No Cal Soda, and the first flavor they launched was ginger ale. It was aimed at diabetic patients and those with cardiovascular issues. Due to the success they had with this product, they created more flavors and eventually inspired other soda brands to produce their own sugar-free versions. Did you know that some fish can change sex throughout their life? Yes, you heard that right. Around 500 different species have this ability. Some fish can change from female to male in just 1 week. Their ovaries transform into fully functional testes for reproduction. This happens when the dominant male is removed from the area and the largest female is forced to take his place. The transformation can also occur in the reverse direction when a female specimen is needed. In this restaurant, they serve three-dimensional sushi dishes. This technology is becoming more and more innovative. It's called Sushi Singularity, and it's located in Tokyo, Japan. The unique way of preparing food is designed to meet the nutritional and health needs of each customer. Therefore, those wishing to dine there must send biological samples when making their reservation so the system can analyze their specific nutritional requirements. The bloody hot pond of Japan is one of the most fascinating places on Earth. It's located on Beppu Island, and its striking red color is due to the high concentration of iron oxide in its waters. Additionally, the temperature of these waters is very high, ranging from 122 to 194 degrees Fahrenheit. Because of this, it is prohibited to even dip a foot in the pond, as it could cause severe skin burns. Just like humans, cats and dogs can get acne. In these animals, it's an inflammation of the hair follicle caused by the presence of bacteria or excess oil on the skin. Pimples can appear on their chin, lips, base of the tail, or eyelids. In dogs, this usually happens when they are between 5 and 8 months old. On the other hand, feline acne occurs occasionally and can become a recurring problem. In 2019, when an American farmer harvested a giant pumpkin weighing 880 pounds and decided to turn it into a kind of kayak. His name is Justin Ownby, and he carved this small boat himself. It seems that Justin bought a special seed from a pumpkin that broke a record the previous year by weighing 1,700 pounds. He must be very creative to think of turning a pumpkin into a functional vessel. But did you know that dogs align themselves with the Earth's magnetic field when they do their business? Believe it or not, they use these frequencies to determine the direction of their body when defecating. Dogs align their spine in a north-south direction in relation to the Earth's poles, which is why they often spin around before relieving themselves. This behavior was discovered by German scientists after observing over 70 dogs from 37 different breeds. This is an electronic mask capable of purifying the air. It's called the PuriCare Wearable Air and is made by the famous tech brand LG. It has 2 filters to keep the air clean and fresh inside, and uses fans to cycle the air that the user breathes in and out. Its battery lasts for 8 hours on low mode and 2 hours on high mode. The design is ergonomic and fits perfectly to the human face to prevent leaks around the nose and chin. Look at the incredible balance skills of these people. And you may be wondering how this is possible. To achieve this type of structure, you must consider the center of gravity of each object, which is known as its center of mass. On top of that, you need a lot of patience and extremely steady hands. Very few people in the world are capable of performing such feats, which require years of practice and a deep understanding of physics. There's an Air Guitar World Championship, a quirky competition where people perform with imaginary guitars. Yes, thus you heard that right, imaginary guitars or air guitars. It takes place in Finland every year since 1996, and participants from all over the world simulate playing an invisible guitar. The winners are those with the best style while doing so. Rock and metal songs are played during these peculiar performances. This is the Langkawi Sky Bridge, the longest curved bridge in the world. This impressive structure is located at the top of Mashincang Mountain in Malaysia and is 138 feet long with an extraordinary height of 2,300 feet above sea level. What's most impressive about the structure is that it's located in the middle of a vast jungle, offering spectacular views of the surrounding landscape. Did you know that many animals have eyes that glow? One, this is due to the presence of a layer in their eyeballs called the tapetum lucidum. This layer reflects much of the external light, causing the curious glowing effect in their eyes. It can be located in the retina or behind it, and it helps animals like cats and dogs improve their vision in low-light conditions. Now you know why your pet's eyes tend to shine when you take pictures of them with flash. Let me introduce you to Roche Marx, a student who developed a method for printing photos on algae. This neuroscience student has taken experimental photography to a whole new level. To print his photos, he used a technique that blocks light from certain areas of the algae. As the plants perform photosynthesis, they change color in the areas that were blocked from light, creating a sharp image in different shades of green. This printing method combines art, science, and nature in an innovative way. The Luray Caverns are a stunning collection of enormous natural formations located in Virginia, United States. What stands out the most is that they contain a natural organ called the great stalactite organ, which produces music by striking stalactites of different sizes and thicknesses. This unique musical instrument was created in 1956 and is connected to a keyboard. The notes are produced when small hammers strike the selected stalactites, creating melodies that echo throughout the cave. As unbelievable as it may sound, a dog in the United States inherited $5 million. American businessman Bill Dorris stated in his final will that all his money should be used for the care and well-being of his dog Lulu, an 8-year-old border collie. The $5 million were placed into a trust so that the dog's new caretaker, Martha Burton, could cover all her needs. However, many people doubt that $5 million could actually be spent on just one dog. This carpenter builds furniture that appears to float in midair. His name is John Malecki, and he shares his creations on his YouTube channel. These tables stand thanks to tensegrity, a structural principle that combines elements within a network of tension. In this way, each component supports another. That is why thin cables can provide firmness to the table. However, several calculations must be done to determine the correct measurements, so John creates computer models before bringing them to life. This is how kangaroo rats escape from their predators. Their skill comes from their long legs, which allow them to leap high enough to avoid rattlesnakes. Another factor that influences their escape ability is their incredibly fast reflexes. To give you an idea, they react in less than half the time it takes a human eye to blink. Some researchers believe this may be due to their ears, which could allow them to detect even the slightest movement from their attackers. This is an impressive water bottle that fully refills itself. It is called Fontus, a device capable of transforming humidity from the air into drinking water. This bottle uses a solar panel and a thermal element to produce water through the basic principle of condensation, and it works quite quickly. Fontus is designed to easily attach to a bicycle. While cyclists ride, this small machine automatically generates clean drinking water. Did you know that on average a cat can have more than 40 million hairs on its body? Believe it or not, it is true. If you have a feline pet, you have probably noticed all the fur they leave behind. Their coat helps regulate body temperature and protect their skin. However, this is not the case for the Sphinx cat due to its complete lack of fur, a feature that makes it unique among feline breeds. Let me introduce you to the green aracari, a very striking animal. This small bird is native to Venezuela and lives in forests located at altitudes between 300 and 300 feet and 8,200 feet above sea level. The male usually measures about 14 inches in length and weighs between 5 and 7 ounces, while the female is typically smaller. In addition, this animal has a curved beak that measures about 3 inches long. Its bright green plumage makes it easy to identify. The catacombs of Paris are a cemetery located in former limestone mines. They form a network of underground tunnels and chambers that hold more than 6 million human skeletons. During the 17th and 19th centuries, many bodies were transferred there from other cemeteries in the city, usually during the night. This was done because of serious health problems caused by overcrowded traditional cemeteries at the surface level. As you can see in this demonstration, the Slash Pro is a vest that protects against many types of attacks. It was created by PPSS Group and is extremely resistant. It is designed to be worn with shirts, vests, and sweaters. The material is so strong that the company director personally participates in product demonstrations, showing that it can withstand attacks from knives, blades, and certain sharp weapons. This is an interesting invention that allows you to create decorative holograms that look very real. It is called Looking Glass Portrait and is essentially a screen that lets you create and continuously display holograms. The product was launched by Looking Glass Factory Inc., a group of inventors inspired by futuristic movies. On this screen, you can create personal designs or upload photographs that will later appear as three-dimensional holograms. The device has its own computer and can also function as a phone, tablet, or external camera. We look at this incredible glass that looks like an ocean wave crashing against rocks. It stands 15 inches tall and has a diameter of 7 inches. It was created by American artists Paula da Silva and Marshall Blaker. Since they live in Hawaii, they were inspired by the ocean to create this piece. Both work with glass at Pictures Glass School and have produced several collaborative works inspired by natural elements of the Pacific Ocean. The gecko is a reptile that apparently never gets wet. In a study conducted by biologists at the University of Queensland, it was discovered that the skin of some geckos can repel water. This is due to tiny hairs on their bodies that can concentrate and repel liquid. Scientists are currently developing experiments to determine whether this lizard skin could be used for medical purposes, especially in creating waterproof materials for human use. This student created amazing solar panels using food waste. Carvey Aaron Meg invented a system called Our Reuse, designed to store solar energy even on cloudy days. These panels are made from agricultural waste and can convert ultraviolet light into clean electricity with up to 12 hours of functionality. He hopes his invention will become popular and help more people in the fight against climate change and the transition to renewable energy. Let me introduce you to the rainbow pigeon, one of the most striking birds in the world. This extraordinary bird lives in Asian tropical forests and mangroves and displays a festival of colors across its body, with purple tones on its head, a pink neck, and green wings. It feeds in the trees, where it also spends most of its life. This colorful pigeon is considered one of the most beautiful birds in the world, and unfortunately is threatened by the loss of its natural habitat. This is how the shark from the movie Jaws was made in 1975. Well, the film became extremely famous in the last century and is now considered a classic of horror cinema. As you can imagine, filming with a real shark was not feasible, and at that time there was no CGI or computers capable of generating a realistic shark. So the team had to do extensive engineering work to create an impressive mechanical animal that was nicknamed Bruce. This fantastic bike path allows you to ride between the treetops of the forest. It was built in Belgium as a project called Cycling Through the Trees. It is a circular cycling path that surrounds the Pienvin Nature Reserve. In this way, people can admire nature while pedaling. Its creators hope to encourage visitors to care for the forest. In addition, the trees that were removed during construction were used to create rest areas for cyclists, showing a commitment to sustainability. Let me introduce you to the bald uakari, a primate with a striking appearance. It is a small species, and individuals usually measure about 24 inches in length. As its name suggests, this animal has a bald head and a distinctive reddish coloration. This monkey has social habits and can form groups of up to 100 individuals. It lives in the treetops of swampy areas of the Amazon in Brazil, Peru, and Colombia. Unfortunately, it is endangered due to deforestation. These are unusual sculptures in the Czech Republic. They are called Krakonoshovi bobule, also known as the king heads. Each one stands about 30 feet tall, making them the second largest carved heads in the world after Mount Rushmore in the United States. They were carved in sandstone by Czech artist Václav Levy between 1841 and 1846. They represent characters from local legends of the Giant Mountains region. Look at how these long exposure photographs turn rock formations into incredible rainbows. They are created by climber and artist Luke Rasmussen, also known as Pick Luck Photos. He achieves these images by attaching LED lights to his body and leaving the camera shutter open. Then he climbs up and down the rock formations quickly to create smooth trails of colored light. The results are truly amazing and require great physical and technical skill. The Rheon Pocket is an air conditioner you can carry anywhere. It is an innovative creation by Sony. The prototype is a portable device that works with a special shirt and can be placed on your back just below the neck. The most interesting part is that the device is about the size of a credit card. It can lower the temperature by about 23 degrees Fahrenheit on hot days, or raise it by about 14 degrees Fahrenheit on cold days, providing personalized comfort. Look at these peculiar drawings made using a typewriter. They are created by urban artist James Cook, who types every detail of faces, animals, objects, and architectural illustrations using letters, numbers, and punctuation marks on sheets of paper. Each piece is composed of more than 100,000 characters and can take up to 3 months to complete. Imagine making a mistake at the very end of the portrait. What a challenge. This subway line passes directly through a residential building in China. Believe it or not, it is real. Normally, a station like this would have been built through the mountains surrounding the apartment blocks, but that would have been more expensive and construction would have taken much longer. That is why engineers chose the unconventional solution of running the subway directly through the building. Residents say the sound is well insulated and does not bother them at all. Let me introduce you to Simba, the first lion cub conceived artificially. This extraordinary event took place at the Singapore Zoo and surprised the scientific community. The cub was named Simba in honor of the character from the famous Disney film, The Lion King. The birth was widely celebrated due to the significant decline in lion populations in recent years. The cub has taken his first steps and is expected to grow healthy and contribute to conservation programs. Would you dare to try ski joring? This is a sport where people ski alongside animals. It is a winter activity in which participants team up with dogs or horses. The animals pull the skier forward using their movement almost like an engine. Although the sport is not very popular, it was featured as a demonstration event at the 1928 Winter Olympics, but it never became an official discipline. This is one of the strangest birds on our planet. Its name is the common potu, also known as the ghost bird. It measures between 16 and 20 inches in length and weighs between 7 and 9 ounces. What stands out most about this bird is its unusual appearance, especially its large yellow eyes that sometimes appear orange. They glow in the dark like two lamps. Its plumage is mainly shades of brown and gray. Imagine sleeping peacefully and waking up to the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, or having your alarm go off and finding your coffee ready within minutes without leaving your bed. What we all need is this unique alarm clock coffee maker called the Barishur 2.0 by Joy Resolve, designed by Joshua Renouf. The device also offers wireless charging options while preparing a cup of tea or coffee. You can even choose the exact time it will be served, so it is ready when you wake up. The curious and unusual images you see now belong to this makeup artist with incredible talent for turning parts of her body into optical illusions. Her name is Mimi Choi, and she can paint all kinds of shapes on her arms, legs, or face. Her food illustrations look extremely realistic, do they not? She has gained international recognition for creating disturbing and surprising visual effects that challenge our perception of reality. As crazy as it sounds, an Arctic walrus fell asleep on an iceberg and woke up in Ireland. And that was the hypothesis proposed by marine biologist Kevin Flannery, director of Ocean World Dingle, after the walrus was spotted floating on an iceberg near Valentia Island, off the west coast of Ireland. The animal was discovered by a 5-year-old girl while walking with her parents along the Irish coast. Another hypothesis suggests the walrus may have traveled in search of food or to reproduce although the iceberg journey seems more likely. And these are augmented reality glasses that bring all the functions of your phone right before your eyes. They include a camera, a microphone, and built-in speakers. They weigh less than 1.3 ounces and allow users to make and receive phone calls as well as read and reply to text messages. You can also take photos and videos and even watch and listen to multimedia content. They represent the future of wearable technology and could revolutionize the way we interact with our devices. And this is the largest swordfish ever caught to date. James Lockhart, a fisherman from Oklahoma, United States, caught the largest recorded American swordfish, measuring nearly 6 feet in length and weighing 146.6 pounds. After confirming the measurements and weight, the fish was released back into its natural habitat, since catch and release sport fishing helps conservation efforts. This catch broke a Guinness World Records record and was widely celebrated within the fishing community. What you are seeing now is a prototype of a small car built from a Volkswagen Beetle. It was created by Mexican designers from Adian Studio. They used the fender's headlights and turned signals from the Beetle to create this elegant design. Unfortunately, these are only images since the project has not yet reached production stages. However, the team assures that the vehicle will be fully functional and ready sooner than we expect, combining nostalgia with modern innovation. This is the String Bike drivetrain, an interesting bicycle that has no chain. This innovative creation was presented by Ceramic Speed and promises to revolutionize the cycling world. It uses a system of gears and cords to transfer power from the pedals to the gears, replacing the conventional chain system. Thus, this helps reduce friction breakdowns and improves efficiency. The design allows riders to go much faster with far less effort and eliminates chain repairs. Let me introduce you to Eva, a humanoid robot that takes photographs at social and corporate events. She was created by the British company Service Robots and captures images perfectly thanks to a facial recognition system that identifies key guests. Eva communicates and provides options through her screen. She also uses infrared sensors and virtual mapping to move around without colliding with obstacles, ensuring a smooth and efficient photography experience. This is a portable motor that can turn a regular bicycle into an electric one. Its name is Clip, and it is manufactured by an American company. The device adds power that allows a maximum speed of about 15 miles per hour. It takes around 40 minutes to charge and is as light as a laptop, so it can be carried in a backpack. If you wanted to buy one, the retail price would be $500, making it an affordable option to convert a traditional bicycle into an electric one. Believe it or not, these dinosaurs are completely real. They are hyper-realistic robotic suits controlled by humans from the inside, so there is nothing to fear. These suits were created by the Japanese company On Art. Interestingly, even though people know they are not real dinosaurs, they still react with fear when encountering them. The suits are used in theme parks and special events and are equipped with realistic head, tail, and limb movements that make them incredibly convincing. The Royal Giants of Lux are incredible sets of enormous puppets built by the outdoor theater company Royal Deluxe. They are realistic, gigantic, and require up to 30 people to operate them. The tallest puppet stands about 36 feet high and weighs several tons. 3 giants were featured during their first appearance in the Netherlands in the city of Leeuwarden, which was considered the European capital of culture in 2018. And their performances attract thousands of spectators every time. What you see on the screen are 3-dimensional tiles designed to promote coral reef growth. They were created by scientists and architects from the University of Hong Kong with the goal of saving thousands of marine species. The tiles measure about 24 inches in diameter and have a wrinkled structure similar to a human brain with cavities that allow coral to take root. And scientists are currently evaluating how effective this creation is in order to expand the project globally and help restore damaged reefs. This is a portable printer capable of printing designs on almost any type of surface. It is called Print Cube and is manufactured by the American company D-Cup Teams. The device works with Wi-Fi so it can connect to a phone to upload the desired design. Despite its small size, it can print 415 pages with a single cartridge. Now, this innovative tool is ideal for designers, artists, and anyone who needs to print on irregular or different material surfaces. The Tenjin Matsuri, as you can see, is quite intense. This type of festival is held in Osaka, Japan. It is similar to a parade where different neighborhoods pull a highly decorated wooden cart filled with people known as a danjiri. Groups of musicians of all ages play drums, and everyone follows the rhythm. The master craftsman stands at the very top of the float performing daring acrobatics encouraged by the applause of the crowd. The most famous of these festivals is the Kishiwada Danjiri Matsuri. This is Evo, a small intelligent robot designed to keep cats entertained for quite a while. Evo studies the layout of the room to encourage cats to play without bumping into obstacles. It also learns your cat behavior to develop new movements. When the robot runs out of power, it automatically returns to its charging station until it is ready to play again. It can connect to Wi-Fi, take photos, and record videos of pets while they play, allowing owners to share adorable moments. Look at these amazing sculptures of animals and plants made entirely from Lego pieces. They are built by American artist Sean Kenny. Even though he works with the team, completing each piece can take up to 9 months, and around 5,000 Lego bricks are typically used in every project. So far, Kenny and his team have created more than 150 of these nature-inspired works, and they truly look spectacular with incredibly realistic details that capture the essence of each creature. This is the Visayan warty pig, one of the rarest pigs in existence, and where it is a mammal that lives in the Visayas in the Philippines and is also known as the Visayan wild boar. This animal has a long crest that sets it apart from other pigs of its kind. Today, this unusual pig is in serious danger of extinction because farmers hunt it to protect their crops. In addition, habitat loss due to deforestation has drastically reduced its population in recent decades. This is a smart cane designed to guide people with visual impairments. It is called We Walk and was created through the initiative of the Turkish non-profit organization Young Guru Academy. Its system uses Google Maps as a reference and connects via Bluetooth to the user's smartphone to activate a voice assistant. It also has special built-in sensors that alert users with vibrations when obstacles appear in the path, significantly improving independent mobility for people who are blind or have low vision. A look at how impressive this photo is, showing every crater on the lunar surface in stunning detail. It was taken by astrophotographer Andrew McCarthy from his own backyard. To achieve this 85-megapixel image, he had to take 24,000 photos over 45 minutes using a specialized camera. What we see is the result of combining the best frames, and the final image is so spectacular that we could study the moon craters in detail as if we were standing there. Fraser Island is the largest sand island on Earth. It stretches about 76 miles in length and covers an area of 6,420 square miles. It is part of Great Sandy National Park in Australia. It has been listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1992 and is mainly inhabited by adorable wild Australian dogs known as dingoes. The island is famous for its freshwater lakes, rainforests, and sand dunes that can reach heights of up to 787 feet. Look how satisfying this video is, showing the impressive restoration of valuable Air Jordan 1 Chicago sneakers. The repair was carried out at CB Restoration in Miami. The older these shoes are, the more valuable they become. In the pair featured in the video is an original Chicago edition from 1985 and has been sold for more than $10,000 at specialized auctions, making it extremely rare and highly sought after. This house was printed in 3 dimensions using fully recyclable materials. It was designed by Mario Cucinella Architects and built by World's Advanced Saving Project. The project is called Tekla and consists of futuristic dome-shaped homes. Because they are made with 3-dimensional printers that mechanically layer clay, this method generates no waste. Construction takes only 200 hours and represents a sustainable solution to the global housing crisis. This is a unique shopping cart with smart brakes. The small vehicle was created by the iconic automaker Ford, and although it was originally intended as a promotional concept, people loved it. And the cart features sensors that detect when it is about to collide with an object, and it automatically brakes. This invention is especially useful for children who love to play with shopping carts and often end up crashing them. With this intelligent system, collisions can be prevented. What you are seeing are images of a gold coin artistically modified with a series of hidden mechanisms. It was created by Russian artist Roman Butin. We can clearly see an intricate glove shape alongside a 3-dimensional sword. When a small integrated button on the coin is pressed, an internal spring mechanism allows the glove fingers to move as if they are gripping the sword handle. This is incredibly impressive for such a tiny object, and each of Butin pieces is unique, requiring weeks of meticulous work. This is what Leviathan melvillei looked like, an extinct species of giant whale. According to fossil records, it is believed they measured between 11 and 57 feet in length. As a massive super predator, it may have rivaled the famous megalodon in prehistoric times. Its teeth measured about 14 inches long, making it the species with the largest biting teeth of any known animal. Researchers believe it may have even fed on humpback whales and other large cetaceans. This is the Hantang carbon umbrella that is practically indestructible against strong winds. Umbrellas are among the most commonly discarded items in the world due to poor quality, but that may change thanks to this product. It is made from carbon fiber and polycarbonate, which are strong and lightweight materials. According to its testing, it can withstand winds equivalent to a Category 1 hurricane. It also comes with a lifetime warranty demonstrating the manufacturer's confidence in its durability. This bakery looks incredible with its glass floor, allowing customers to watch how bread is made while they shop. Forn Station in Palma de Mallorca. Spain has 2 levels, one for serving customers and another below where the bread is prepared. The most interesting feature is the large glass floor located right in front of the counter. Thanks to this unique design, people can see exactly how the bread and pastries are made, creating an experience that combines gastronomy with transparency in the production process. Meet the Luna moth, one of the most exotic moths in the world. Its name comes from the circular spots on its wings. It usually has a wingspan of about 5.5 inches, but some specimens have exceeded 6.5 inches. Because of its size, it is one of the largest moths in North America. This species lives only a few days as an adult, but it has enough time to find a mate and reproduce. It is nocturnal, and its bright lime green color makes it easy to recognize in nature. What you are seeing now is an airplane flying over Maho Beach in the Caribbean, considered one of the most dangerous beaches in the world. It is located on the Dutch side of the island of Sint Maarten. Its danger comes from being extremely close to Princess Juliana International Airport. Because of this, planes fly very low over the beach, and their engines produce powerful blasts of air that have caused accidents, with some people suffering serious and even fatal injuries. Despite the risk, it remains a very popular spot for aviation enthusiasts. The antlion larva can pretend to be dead for more than 1 hour to avoid being eaten, according to a study conducted by 3 biologists from the University of Bristol in the United Kingdom. And in most cases, the predator chose to search for another prey, while these insects managed to escape alive. This survival strategy, known as thanatosis, is so effective that even persistent predators eventually lose interest and move on to the more active prey. It is a fascinating example of how defensive mechanisms evolve in small insects. This is a new toilet design created to prevent employees from spending too much time on it. It is called the Standard Toilet, a creation by British engineer Mahabir Gill. The trick lies in its seat, which has a slight 13-degree downward tilt that makes it quite uncomfortable. Because of this, users will not remain seated longer than necessary. The design has already been approved by the British Toilet Association, and its creators hope to increase worker productivity, although it has sparked controversy regarding comfort and workplace dignity. Rhino horns are not made of bone. They are actually made of keratin, the same substance found in the hair of other species. Unfortunately, poachers have pushed this animal into critical danger of extinction. Rhinos are hunted for their horns, which sell for about $6,000 per kilogram. The false belief that the horns have medicinal properties has fueled this devastating illegal trade. He is a Norwegian boy who caught a fish with a very unusual appearance. And it was a rabbitfish, also known as a chimera, an animal that can grow up to nearly 5 feet long and live for about 30 years. The specimen was captured at a depth of about 2,600 feet. Unfortunately, the pressure change caused a dramatic alteration in its body, giving it a monstrous look. Chimeras are relatives of sharks and rays and live in deep waters where pressure is extremely high. Italian sculptor Lorenzo Possenti also holds a degree in natural sciences and has combined his artistic talent with his love for insects to create impressive, realistic, and enormous sculptures. Possenti strives for scientific accuracy in his models, capturing many of the fine details found in living insects. For some people, it may seem unsettling, but it is certainly a remarkable talent. His giant works allow viewers to appreciate the beauty and complexity of creatures that often go unnoticed because of their small size. Some monkeys can be so intelligent that they interact with electronic devices, such as smartphones, just as shown in these images. Modern devices are designed to be easy for anyone to use, and apparently not only humans, but animals as well. Primates in particular have demonstrated surprising abilities to learn how to use touchscreens, games, and apps. Scientists use this capability to study animal cognition and to develop more advanced intelligence tests. Believe it or not, bees could replace drones in crop fields. The University of Washington created a tiny smart backpack that can be worn by these insects. The backpack sends real-time information about the bee location to create a two-dimensional map. In this way, farmers can monitor their land with the help of these small flying insects. This technology also helps researchers study pollination patterns and the health of bee colonies, which are crucial for global agriculture. And here is the most powerful supercomputer in existence, IBM Summit. It serves the United States Department of Energy with a processor containing nearly 2.5 million cores and about 2.8 million gigabytes of memory. This allows it to reach a power of more than 2,000 petaflops. To give you an idea, a PlayStation 5 has a power of about 1.8 teraflops. It occupies more than 5,400 square feet and weighs over 750,000 pounds, which is about twice the weight of a Boeing 747. All of this comes at a cost of $200 million. This is Remove Debris, a harpoon designed to capture space junk. It is a project developed by the University of Surrey in the United Kingdom, aimed at reducing the problem of orbital debris. The harpoon is fired at about 65 feet per second, a considerable speed to catch objects floating freely in space. With this invention, large fragments of debris can be captured, and it has operated in Earth orbit. There are more than 130 million pieces of space junk, posing a threat to satellites and space missions. This is Gustavo, a giant Nile crocodile that has become famous for his enormous size and deadly reputation. He lives in Burundi, and according to locals, he has devoured more than 300 people. It is believed he measures between 16 and 20 feet long, weighs close to 2,200 pounds, and is between 60 and 100 years old. What in 2019 reports claimed he had been captured, but the information was unclear. For that reason, some people believe he may still be roaming free and terrifying residents in the area. This is an artificial variety of apples known as Granny Smith. Its curious name comes from the British woman Maria Ann Smith, who created the first graft in 1869 when she was 69 years old. That is why Granny Smith translates to Grandma Smith. Ma Maria discovered apple growing near a creek on her property in Australia. She soon realized they were excellent for cooking and began cultivating them. They were first marketed in England in 1935 and in the United States in 1972. Look at how artificial intelligence can turn a photographic portrait into a Renaissance-style painting. This is AI Gahaku, a digital tool created by Japanese programmer Sato. The system only needs the user to upload an image to transform it into a cultural artwork. The technology analyzes facial features, lighting, and colors from the original photo to replicate the style of masters like Leonardo da Vinci or Raphael, creating results that look as if they came straight from a Renaissance museum. This is a moire pattern, and it forms when grids of straight or curved lines are placed over one another at a certain angle, or when such grids are slightly different in size. So human vision creates the illusion of dark and light horizontal bands layered over the fine lines. Those fine lines are actually what form the real pattern. They look impressive, do they not? This optical phenomenon can be observed in many everyday situations, from digital screens to fabrics with repeated designs. Did you know there is a chess variant that combines the classic rules of the game with principles of quantum mechanics? It is called quantum chess. And in this version, there is no concept of check because pieces can split and exist in superposition. That means they can occupy two squares at the same time and only define their position when they are attacked. A simple threat is not enough because the game follows the principle of Schrödinger cat. This backpack can transform into a protective vest within seconds. The product was created by the Israeli company Masada Armor. It is made from bullet-resistant material and features a pair of straps that allow the backpack to slide quickly into a vest position. Sales increased rapidly in some countries, especially in areas where safety is a constant concern. The design has been tested to withstand gunfire from various calibers. This is the first flying car airport in the world. The project is called Air One, and it was built in the British city of Coventry by Urban Airport together with Hyundai Motor Company. When Air One is designed with the infrastructure and technology needed to support flying vehicles, which began operating in the country in 2021, the station positions itself as a pioneer among the more than 200 electric vertical takeoff and landing ports expected to be built worldwide. Zero-emission drones will transport passengers and cargo as part of what the company calls the next revolution in air mobility. There are already bicycle wheels made with technology that NASA has been developing for vehicles that explore the surfaces of the Moon and Mars. They are known as Tweel wheels. Their patented load-bearing design takes advantage of the unique properties of shape memory metals. They can expand, contract, or bend very quickly and still recover 100% of their original shape. Because of these properties, they do not need air and cannot be punctured. They require no maintenance. Meet the sarcastic fringehead, one of the most terrifying animals on the ocean floor. It is a species found in the Pacific Ocean with a truly intimidating appearance. It is known for the look created by the folds on the sides of its head and the dramatic way it opens its mouth. In fact, the most interesting thing about this fish is that to defend its territory, it engages in a battle that looks like a kiss. The one with the bigger mouth wins the fight. These confrontations are certainly unusual. Have you ever seen a southern elephant seal? Its name comes from its enormous size since it can grow up to about 15 feet long and weigh around 8,800 pounds. It is also called an elephant seal because adult males have a large proboscis that hangs over their mouth and can be inflated along with a pouch above the snout. Males use this structure to produce resonant roars during mating season and to intimidate other males in territorial disputes. And this is all. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Zarpado facts.